right. Thank you, everybody. This has been a great day, and what great training we've had already. I really appreciate all of the business leaders working so hard to put this together. And Chris, you are pretty amazing. Thanks for leading us so wonderfully. And so we have a treat for you. This is a very special lady who has just come into my life in the last year, and I love introducing to you Kristi Jackson. And it's one of those stories that once you hear it, you'll never forget it. She is an amazing lady, and she's lived a life of from one end to the other. So wherever you're at in life, you might find yourself in her story. And so let's give it up for Kristi Jackson. And Kristi, we're excited to hear about your story, your I story, where you came from, and who you are today. Thank you so much, Kristi. Thank you, Kristi. You look beautiful.
Thank
Share with
you.
us. Yes.
Thank you. So, I want to share my story with you and just show you how the power of perseverance can basically get you from where you are now to being very successful and know your greatness. In order to do that, I need to kind of tell you about my backstory, which is a little difficult, but I feel like it's important for people to hear. Um, so, as a child, I was picked on a lot for being overweight, and I was very discouraged. And I really didn't know what it was like to have a relationship. So, I ended up meeting a guy and got into a relationship with him. And I thought it was great, but it wasn't. It became very abusive, and he made me feel worthless and like I couldn't accomplish anything in my life and that nobody would want me. And it got really bad quite a bit. And I left. I was afraid to go home. I shouldn't say afraid to go home. I didn't want to go home because I didn't want to tell my parents that they were right. So I decided to live in my car. And I would go home and visit my parents and pretend like nothing was wrong. And then I'd go back to being in my car again. And I would eat out of dumpsters and I would go to the ERs to get warm meals. And it was a really low point in my life. And I felt like giving up, not only in general, but giving up my life. And it was so lonely, I decided to go back. And you get in that evil cycle where you go back into these horrible relationships. And I ended up going back and getting pregnant. And he said he would change and everything was going to be great. And it was for a little while and until it wasn't. And the one time he beat me so bad that I thought he was going to kill me, honestly. And he told me if I ever left him that he would hurt me and my family. So while he was sleeping, I left again. And I left for good this time. And I went back to being in my car when I was pregnant. And like I said, going to the ERs to get warm meals. And um, people treated me like crap because I was homeless. They didn't take the time to get to know who I was. And then one time I went to the ER and this little lady, um, she was so nice. She was near retirement. She, was basically ready to be over with working and she really didn't need to care, but she did. And it was a very pivotal point in my life. She held my hand and she asked me what I wanted out of my life. And I kind of looked at her and I said, I'd tell you I want to be a nurse, but you'd laugh at me because I'm too stupid to be a nurse. And that's how he made me feel. He made me feel like I was too stupid to do anything or be successful. And she took my hand and she looked at me and she said, honey, if you believe in yourself, you could do anything. And I listened to her, but I didn't really hear her. I just kind of put it in the back of my mind. So that lady helped me reach back out to my mother and mend fences with her and trust to go back home. And I told her what was going on, and she welcomed me back home and she helped me raise my son. And I worked 2 or 3 jobs. Never was really happy. And then I found out when my son was 10 that his father went to prison for a very long time for some choices he made. And I could breathe for the first time in my life. And then I remembered that nurse in the back of my head saying, if you believe in yourself, you could do anything. And I decided to go back to nursing school. And I loved it. I became a travel nurse and I made really good money. And I worked in the ERs because I wanted to help other people. I wanted to help them realize their dreams and know that they were worth it. So that's what I did. Well, I ended up getting exposed to COVID. And this is kind of where my Tupperware journey really took off. But in July of last year, to backdate a little bit, a friend of mine introduced me to Tupperware. She actually invited me to a party that Amy Gardner, who is one of our 3-star directors at Champion, held for her. And I was like, Tupperware. I said, is that still a thing? Like my grandmother, that's what she did. I didn't even know it was a thing, but I wanted to support my friends. So I decided to go to the party. And there was so many stuff, so much stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And this is so easy. And it's really going to help me because I'm working these 16-hour days. How am I going to make meals for my family? And how am I going to, be there for them? Because when I get home, I don't want to do any of that. And I was like, I need this stuff. Well, I didn't want to pay full price. So I got the kit because it had a lot of the stuff in it. And I wasn't going to sell. I did a million direct sales. I was never successful. I never enjoyed it. It was too much work. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. So Amy encouraged me with Crystal to come to one of our rallies at the Tupperware studio when we were still able to do that. And I walked in the room and there was just this energy there. And everybody was so nice and so welcoming and, made you feel at home. And I heard Ellen talk and I heard other directors talk. And I walked out of there and I remembered all of them circled with their black jackets. And I said to Amy that day, I said, you know what? I'm going to have one of those black jackets. So I went home and I started kind of getting excited and working my business. And I got 14 recruits right away. And I was super excited. But I wasn't getting a lot of sales. I didn't have a lot of time to do home parties and things like that. And I was kind of getting discouraged. And I didn't really want to do much with my business anymore. And Amy would always reach out to me and she'd say, Kristi, she's like, you really should do this. You'd be really good at it. And I kept making excuses. I'm like, I work full time. I work 40 hours a week. I'm a photographer. I have 5 kids. I'm always on the go. I do not have time for Tupperware. And she kept encouraging me and kept pushing me forward. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this again. So I said, I don't know how to do these Facebook parties. So I was told, go here, you could see all these videos and you could train. And I was like, sweet. So I go on and I start looking and I have ADHD too. So I don't learn that way. So again, I got discouraged and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give up. I'm not going to do this. I can't. I didn't want to ask questions because I felt stupid. And it kind of goes back to how he trained me to feel like I didn't want to let people know what was going on because I didn't want to feel less than I was worth. So again, Amy encouraged me and she kept me going. And I don't know what I would do without her, quite honestly. So I started working my business again. And I think it was like March, end of February, I became a manager and I had a team and things were going good. And I was really excited. And then I moved up to star manager. I think it was in March, and shipping started getting really bad because of COVID. And I was that person. I was that person that said, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with the complaints. I'm tired of doing all this. I'm just going to wait till the shipping's better and everything's better. And then I'm going to work my business then because I don't want to deal with people. And it was just excuses after excuses. I had some health issues and that held me back. And I told him I wasn't going to do it because of health issues. And then I decided that I was going to do something because of this reason. When I got exposed from COVID, I was out of nursing work. My other 4 people in my household that had income was already laid off. So we went from an income of 5 to an income of 0. And I was terrified. I remember that little girl who sat in her car and ate out of dumpsters. And I was afraid that I would be there again. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And Amy said something to me that clicked in my head. And she said, Kristi, help people. You love to help people as a nurse. You just have to help people in a different way. Show them how this can change their lives. And it was like a light bulb. And so I decided to change 3 words in my life. And this is really important. And this is one of the things I want you guys to remember, because no matter where you are in your life, whether you're successful and working a job, whether this is your full-time income or your part-time gig, there are 3 words that you need to change in your life to make you successful. So the first one is the word can't. A lot of times we use the word can't and we say, I can't do this or I can't do that. Change that word to can. I used to always say, I'm going to try this. Well, you don't want to try. Change it to will. I will do this. And then when things are impossible, change that word impossible to I'm possible. Because if you believe in yourself, you can do anything and you can go anywhere. And when I changed those 3 words in my life, I went from a star manager that had $108 in sales in March or April to having $6,600 in May in sales. I went from team sales of 5,000 to team sales of 13.5 thousand because I reached out to my team and I made them feel like they are important. That is the most important thing. Money is important. The friendships and the interactions that you have with people, friends that I will have for a lifetime. That's what Tupperware is. Sharing dreams with people that may have lost their job and they don't know what they're going to do. And now they're sharing love with people that don't believe in themselves. That's what Tupperware is. So I want you to do that. And, I kind of wrote this out and I want to read it word for word because I think it's important. When you're feeling discouraged, believe in yourself and push harder. When you're afraid of failure, don't be afraid to ask for help. And when you're ready to make a difference in your life, remember that with the power of perseverance, you can make a difference because you will be successful because you are possible. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Kristi. You are truly an inspiration. And I want to tell everybody that the thing I see in Kristi is she has amazing people skills. Her heart and her desire is to truly help. And that connection comes through on her team chat, on the champion team. We're so blessed to have her in the director level. We adore you and love you. And we are so proud of you making these changes in your life, because you truly are an inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much, Kristi, for sharing your part.
Yeah, and Kristi, I want to tag on that real quick to say, I've known amazing things about you through what Pam has shared, and for you to open up today, and share with everybody here, amazing. You've touched all of our hearts, and now I'm going to ask over 500 people who are on right now to please unmute and give Kristi some love right now. So everybody take.
Hey, you're the best.
Champion.
Me ball my eyes out. I got through that whole thing without crying.
Champion.
Love you, babe. Love all of you. Thank you.
Awesome is that?
A true champion.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Perseverance with a capital P.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for giving Kristi some
I
love.
needed that.
And Kristi, thank you so much for sharing, and we greatly appreciate you. So thank you. You've touched every single person here, and I hope that we just return that for you. So
thank you. You did. And if anybody ever needs anything, you want to talk, reach out. I'm here. I don't care who you are and what team you're on. I love you guys. Thank you.
awesome. Very good. Thank you.